This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories, and welcome to my review of The Boys Season 3, Episode 8, The Instant White Hot Wild. And there will be spoilers for the finale, and a lot happens in it. So, if you haven't watched it yet, please don't watch. And also, I'm going to have a temporary thumbnail up there like I did last week and kind of forgot to change until like yesterday. So, because I'm recording this at night, I have to go to bed soon, and there isn't many images up for me to use since I only have Prime signed in on my TV, so I can't get a screenshot of it just through my computer. But yeah, looking at this finale, we had a really crazy episode. A lot happened. Yeah, just on the most minor sides in terms of story. This is stuff that will be important later, but not in this episode. We see that Adrian's brother wants nothing to do with him. And we also see that the Deep has killed the next vice president, well, the next potential vice president, but we know that the guy's going to be elected and will become president. There's no way they're setting this guy up so much with none of that happening because Victoria Newman is put in as vice president, which is what she exchanged for giving Ryan's location to Butcher. Yeah, with that, I think that was extremely interesting, and we'll see how that plays out next season. Although I do have some stuff to talk about in a video I will do next week, which is going to be a continuation of what I think will be adapted from The Boys, but I'll now be looking at everything from the point we're currently at. And with that, we're not going to be at the same point I was when I made that other video. I don't remember exactly when it was. I think it might have been just before Season 3 started, or a week or two into Season 3. But yeah, that was something I did make. I still stand by some stuff in it. But I'm gonna just change a few things around to see what could be adapted in the next season since we are at a different point. Another thing that's added into it is that we get Ashley is being a little more rebellious towards Homelander in this, with her deleting the footage of Queen Maeve's death being faked. And I'll talk about that in a moment. Yeah, looking at just some of the final stuff we get, some of the big ones, we get Black Noir and his ultimate supposed death. And I say supposed because there's some people who think he still is alive. And I mean, we never really did see the body, but I just feel like it's so likely that he is dead. And although I could see some people didn't like this, just from some stuff I saw online quickly looking, personally, I really think it put an end to this version of the character because he's not going to be who he was from the comics. That's been clear for a while. I think some people are mad that's not gonna happen now. But they're kind of fooling themselves because it was never gonna happen after we just got some more looks at him and his backstory and everything, knowing that, well, he isn't who he was in the comics. And this, I am going to have a spoiler from the comics just so I can mention it. Although it's almost certainly not going to apply to the show since he's dead now. But maybe skip another like 10-15 seconds if you don't want to hear it. I'm just gonna say it out, and that point would be from now. And in the comics, he's a clone of Homelander, but it's clear that he isn't anymore. Yeah, it's been about 10-15 seconds, and just going back to it, we have Some other things like Maeve faking her death and also sacrificing herself to stop Soldier Boy. And there was a great moment that she was trying to get revenge on Homelander and teams up with Butcher to take him down. But when seeing that everyone's gonna die, she goes and sacrifices herself. And even though she does survive, I feel like it was still an impactful moment. And I don't think we're gonna be seeing her again. We might see her like one or two more times randomly. But besides that, honestly, I don't think we'll be seeing her at all. If we do, it's just going to be a quick cameo. But with this, I think that it is pretty interesting with her. And I really am excited to see where this continues with the other characters. Since just so much of the Seven has been taken out, with the only members left that are loyal, or semi loyal, is besides Homelander, we have A Train in the Deep, with Maeve being presumed dead, Starlight quitting and working full time with the boys now, Homelander killed Supersonic, and finally we have Noir who was killed by Homelander also. Yeah, honestly, looking at all of this, it's so interesting, and not even looking at the characters of the boys yet. And looking at just one last one, I think that everything with Soldier Boy was done really well to wrap it up, and how we saw that Homelander really wasn't his son, and I think it's good for him to be a villain in this and not be a more sympathetic anti-hero, since he still isn't a good person, and with it I think that they handled him well. I really enjoy the character, and since he's not dead yet, we could see him return, although I don't think it's likely because I think the only way we'll see him return is if Homelander goes and kills him. But just looking at the other stuff in this, we'll take a look at the characters by sort of groups. We have the smallest one in development is Frenchie and Kumiko, who don't have much happen with them. Frenchie just learns to stand up for himself and that he's not who Nina said he is. And he finally has a great moment where he goes and stands up to Butcher. It's pretty funny. Where he goes and not only demands respect, but also some other like funny things like I think like dental and like paid vacations. And yeah, honestly, I think that was just a just a nice element of development for him. And we see how Miko has gone and just gained the ability to be fine with what she's doing and just listen to music and take out enemies. But looking at the ones that have a lot more development, we see Mother's Milk learn that he just needs to be honest with his daughter and he is telling her of everything, and we see how his daughter really cares for her. It was a really nice moment. I like the advice that Frenchie gave him. I think that was a great moment between the two. And I think that it is just really interesting. And it was just really nice to see. Moving on to the big ones, we get Homelander, we have Butcher, Huey, and Starlight. And even though Homelander isn't really part of the boys, other being the main antagonist, I don't think he should have been saved to around now. And with it, we have so many crazy things. I think that with Starlight and Huey just not being able to try and fix things, and it seems that they are back together now, and that Huey explains wherever they came from and how he thought his dad was so weak when his dad was doing nothing about his mother leaving, but he realized that he actually was really strong and he just wasn't strong in a normal way, and He was a really nice scene where he apologizes and just lets Starlight go, or Annie now, because she's given up Starlight's identity, and she just goes and is able to go off on him, and Huey gives her permission because he realizes what he's done was wrong, and I think that was a good moment between the two. And I really like how Huey still wants to save Butcher even though no one else does, and I thought that was a great moment also. And I think just with the two of them, it is really nice, and they do have a great relationship. And looking at just some of the other things that happen, we just have so many other great scenes. And I think the best ones definitely go with Butcher and probably Homelander, because with Homelander taking Ryan and just telling him everything is okay, that was just such a good moment, and him forgiving Ryan, I think that was awesome. And it's just gonna be so interesting to see what he's doing with Ryan now, because I was honestly not sure what he was gonna do with this, but he exposed who he really is and just killed a guy in cold blood in public. And I think it makes sense that the people are, excited by this because they haven't fully brainwashed by Homelander and just see, oh, there's a threat. And I think that we're definitely going to get some stuff from the comics coming soon. I will talk about that in that other video because I don't want to be mentioning too many spoilers for the comics here because they may be spoilers for the show. But looking at this and just moving towards the final one, Butcher, I think it was awesome to see just how he's changing and how he both has a sympathetic side, but also he still has that darkness in him, and he doesn't want Huey to die, and went and locked him in the bathroom. Well, just knocked him out of the bathroom. You can really lock someone in a bathroom from the outside. It was interesting, but I think the best moment with him is when he decided to save Homelander so he could save Ryan because he had the win he wanted. He could have just seen Homelander die and he could have let Ryan die also, but I think that was just such a great moment and it was definitely so much for him, but he is now dying because of the temporary V he took, and he has a year and a half to live. And with that, I am so interested to see because it seems like I'm guessing there's at most two, maybe three if they push it, seasons of The Boys left, and they'll all take place within a year to a year and a half after this point in the timeline. Either that or Butcher's gonna find some cure. Although I don't think that's likely. I think that I'm gonna talk about this in another video, but it's gonna trigger something from the comics. And yeah, honestly, I really just have been enjoying this season. I do see how some people could have problems with the finale, but I loved it overall. I think they did such a great job, but I want to know what you think. What'd you think of the episode? And what'd you think of the season overall? And is this your favorite season of the show? Or what? I'm not really sure. I love this show completely. I don't think there's really been a bad episode so far. Yeah, honestly, I still want to know what you think, so please let me know in the comments. And I'll see you on the next episode of Legends and Theories. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.